Welcome back to this week's Punters Guide, where we've got some good racing to look at, some top racing to look at, actually, especially from Cheltenham. I'm really looking forward to the Cheltenham card. We're going to take a look at 4 ITV races there and then 3 over at Donny. And thankfully, we've got more racing than we did last weekend because we only had one card to go through by the time we got racing last weekend. But we did find 3 winners from 5 races, Joe.
Yeah, that was a good fluke. I think I should go to Lapland more often because I'm sitting there on the Racing Post app trying to watch replays. I'm waiting for the bill to come in for me 5G or whatever. So I don't know if I've actually made any money or when I get a bill for $2,000 coming in. But no, it was decent last weekend. Fluke's another forecast. So the forecast is the way forward. It's like being in Hong Kong.
And Knickerbocker Glory that won last weekend ties in nicely with Outerbelly that runs this weekend, which I'm sure we'll get onto. But before that, we've got a proper race to start off with. The 150 at Cheltenham, the Night Ember December Gold Cup Handicap. And God, there's enough horses in here that have won this sort of race before. Fugitive obviously won it last year. Stage Stars won a renewal of this. Garlaws won one of these before. Il Rodotto won the last one of these. So there's plenty of horses in here capable of winning this sort of race. How do you decide for this, Joe?
I was going around in circles. First of all, you start at the top of the market with Fugitive, who's a big, big boy. If you ever seen him in the flesh, massive, massive animal. I didn't know if it was a prep run last time because the owner was a little bit cheesed off with the way it went. He was 28-1, missed the start, mangled the first, was hampered, stumbled, and still managed to finish 5th or 6th or something like that. That was the old course. This is the new course. One off 151 last year. Off 150 this year. Sean Bowen is still on board, so you got that. I think the stable form would be an issue for me. I know Richard Hobson's only got a handful of horses. I think the one that's got to go off favourite, I think will be smashed, is the Madara horse for Skelton and Skelton, Dan and Harry. Given far too much to do last time out, was maybe 10.
Yeah,
11.
finished nicely, didn't it?
Yeah, and it was a proper eye catcher. I didn't know if that was the plan, if it was a misjudged ride, or so anything's winning that Skelton's got at the minute. So I really like Madara. I put a line through Stage Star, doesn't like top weight. And similarly, Galore, I thought was given not the best ride by Gavin Sheehan last time. So I got it down to Galore, Madara, and Fugitive, and I'm going with the Skeltons. Madara. I just thought it was so eye-catching last time, and they are winning with anything at the minute, and it's an ITV race, and they want to win the 500 grand for the jockey. So I thought Madara all over.
I'd find it hard to disagree. He made the shortlist for the same reason. Anyone that goes back and watches his 4th last time, if you look from where he was at the top of the hill turning home and then how he finished the race, he made up a hell of a lot of ground. He's got to be in with a big chance, hasn't he? The only thing I disagree with you on, I wouldn't write off Stage Star. He was slightly disappointing at entry, but his entry form on the whole is disappointing. And all of Nichols have needed their reappearance run. I'd say that he might actually go right off top weight. So I'm pretty much siding with almost bookending the weights because Madara only carries 10 stone 6 and Stage Star carries 12 stone. If I had to nail down one, I think Madara. You look at the way he finished last time, and as you said, the Skeltons are quite literally winning everything. And they've got, I know we've recorded this Friday, but they could have had a couple of winners already by the time Friday's ran. So yeah, I'd say he'll go off favourite and he's your most likely winner. Now then, the 225, Master Chewy. Tell me who wins, Joe.
Got it between two, yeah. Master Chewy last weekend, they interviewed Nigel just beforehand, and he was pretty confident, wasn't he? Pretty confident. And took many people have said it was a heavier fall than originally first thought, but I thought it was just a fall. And Nigel Twiston-Davies is not the sort of person who would run them within a week like this. Last time at Cheltenham, was it the Arkle? His big price fell, didn't he? So
yeah, was going all right.
Yeah, was going all right, but that's twice now. He's gone all right. You've gone but I would stick with Master Chewy here, and I think 3rd time lucky for Fergal. The old Dan Skelton horse was bought for £190,000. What is he? £190,000. I mean, unbelievable. And this race is what? You get 20 grand for finishing first. I had it between the two. I'd probably take a win on Master Chewy and go for the exact sort of forecast with 3rd time lucky for me.
Like it. Yeah, I like Master Chewy. I think he's got a big day in him. I'll be disappointed for him if he can't put this field to bed. I know he carries 12 stone, but you mentioned his Arkle run. I know that's going a long way back to find a bit of form, and he did fall in the race. But the calibre of horses in that race, to be going as well as he was down to the second last, just shows that he does have talent on his day. And I hope it is his day. His price is obviously due to the Fs in his form run, and you've got to factor that in. But given a clear round, I'd love to see Sammy twist and flat out up the hill on him and get his nose in front. So I'm going to stick with Master Chew. I'll give him another shout. Right, this is a decent race. Skyjack Hijack has won 6 in the last 3 months. Started off in a Class 5 handicap at Cartmel. He's now running in the Albert Bartlett trial at Cheltenham, going off 2-1 favourite. It is an incredible story, and he might keep on winning. Kim Bailey's got Condor General, won nicely last time out. Western Knight won at Ascot, beat a couple of nice horses in behind. Decent little race this, Joel. Is the dream still alive for the favourite Skyjack Hijack?
I think so. I mean, if this wasn't trained by Jenny Candlish, and no disrespect to her, if it was Hendo or Mullins or even a JP horse, you'd be like, oh, look at this. Or if it was Skelton, you'd be like, he's been at it. Major Fortune's a little bit like this. Are you too young to remember Hunt Ball? That was a very similar story and one at Cheltenham as well. I think at time of recording, 2-1, I think it's a steal. Is it not one of those horses you keep backing? He's probably the best hurdler I've seen for such a long time. They popped out from the front. Sean Quinlan will just go. Was it Thursday as well? I thought, oh, hang on a second, and then won by 6 or 7 lengths. I just think you keep going. The dream's alive. And is he 40-1, something like that for the big race around that price? Not going to be good enough for that. And I thought if we're doing the exacta forecasts, David Coton from France, James Reevely's coming over to ride Jet Blue. So I do like the French horses without the comedy French jockeys on. So they either send over Felix de Giles or James Reevely. Your top men in France. And I thought I'd Skyjack Hijack at 2-1 at the minute. I'm putting the money down, and it's going to end at some point, but until it ends, I'm keep going. It's like one of those ones of the all weather. You just keep going and going. One of some Mark Prescott's or something like that. So for me, Skyjack Hijack beats JetBlue.
I think you're right. I think if you've been backing him, you'd have absolutely no reason not to back him again. You're faced with a slight dilemma if you've watched him win 6 times and not had a penny on as to if you're going to back him now. But if you have made a few quid off him, then absolutely stick with him. Just looking at the lengths that he's won by, okay, on heavy ground at Cartmel, he only won by a neck, but then he's won by 12 lengths, 16 lengths, 7.5, 26, and 9.5 lengths in his last 5 starts. He's not just winning, he's doing it very, very easily. And look, this is obviously a harder race, but as I said, if you've made a few quid off him, why stop now? I reckon Clondor General for Kim Bailey might turn out to be a very nice horse in the future. If it was softer ground, I might be tempted in. Probably waving the white flag a little bit there. But Skyjack Hijack for yourself, Joe. Right, the last race at Cheltenham, which will close 2 good days of racing here. 2.5 miles, Mares Handicap Hurdle. Joyce for JP McManus and Nick Henderson tops the market. Beaten at Ascot, turned over and didn't actually finish a race off that well, in my opinion. But is this the day, Joel? You're smirking.
I was at Utoxeter on Tuesday, and
what's Utoxeter got to do with Cheltenham? Tell us.
JP had a couple of runners, and I was talking to a representative. And I'm passing on information here. I'm not like a tipster or going, call me premium rate number or anything like that. I'm passing on what he got for the week, and was told that this has got at least 2 stone in hand, will not come off the bridle and will go off really short. That's what I'm passing on. I made all my notes beforehand when the prices first came out, and I had Georgie Girl for Hobbs and White. Easy to like last time out, smooth headway the whole way. And now that was my original selection. It has been backed in 13-2. However, this JP favourite, a little bit of money so far, apparently will go off short, will not come off the bridle, and has 2 stone in hand. And that was from the JP camp.
There we are. I wonder what they told you about That's Nice that's just been turned over 5 minutes ago as I sit here at Cheltenham. Not much, I guess.
Well, they didn't. No, I simply said what you got this weekend, and that was the first one. Nothing else. Nothing else.
There you go.
So
Good. A big shout for Joyous then. I couldn't put you off backing her, that's for sure. I think Woodhouse is potentially overpriced for Gordon Elliott. I don't think the market's given her enough respect, especially if the ground stays like it is. It's good to soft, nice racing ground. She goes well on a good surface. Double figure price for a horse that's racked up maybe a 5 or 6 timer. I thought was unfair anyway. Maybe not a bad each way play for place money with Woodhouse. Right, off to Donny. Cheltenham's great racing, but so is Donny. We're going to look at 3 from here. Proper handicap chase to get stuck into in the 205 over 3 miles. Forward Plan. Won this last year. Tops the market. Does he know? In there carrying top weight. Sail away for the Scoutons. If they keep banging in winners this weekend, could get a shout. Where are you looking, Joel? This is a really good race, actually. I enjoyed having a look through this.
It is a really good race, and without being the racing cliche of the day, I think everything's got a chance. Anything could win this. You wouldn't be surprised, would you, if Straw Fan Jack won, or Whistle in the Dark, or whatever. I'm going for the outside of the entire field, 33-1 last night. Doc picked me for Richard Hobson and Callum Pritchard. Now, it's a course and distance winner over hurdles. Obviously, they're so offensive. And Callum Pritchard is a much better jockey over fences than he is over hurdles. And he's a young lad, and he's really impressed a lot of people. But you watch him over fences, and he looks like Charlie Deutsch has been teaching him, because he is really, really good. Got into a bit of a match last time out, and I just thought, look, over fences. And then I got into the mark of 127. That was the last winning mark. The kid takes off £7, and like I say, he is a great jock over fences. And you go back to Wetherby on the 1st of January. He beat, is it the Edgar Wallace and Our Jet from the Skeltons, about 7 lengths.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and he's behind that massive JP Gamble, the Akar Allen and Bill Baxter. So that race was set up for the JP horse. And I thought at 33-1, we're taking. Just the value of this 33-1. The trainer's not massively in form. The kid on board, Callum Pritchard, is really good. And look, and it was given a what's the word? Just a kid sort of ride where there's 2 you go off really, really hard last time out, and that was over fences. 127, take off the 7. Carol Vorderman tells you he's £7 lower than his last win mark.
I like how you've got Carol Vorderman and Charlie Deutsch into a 33-1 selection.
I like that. And Vorderman won in the week as well.
Yeah, true. Deutsch managing to get a shout without even being on board one of our selections. He's a fan favourite, isn't he, of this podcast at the moment. I like top weight. Does he know? He has ran a huge race. He's actually putting his best on ratings anyway, his best ever performance at Donny on soft ground. I think he's actually better probably on the surface that he'll get. Good to soft sort of ground tomorrow. Back to Doncaster, relatively flat track. Can bully them from the front, set a good pace, get into a good rhythm. I think he could be really, really hard to stop, does he know? And he's a lovable horse, because he goes in all these handicaps and carries 12 stone every time, and he always runs his heart out. Just really gets caught out sometimes at Cheltenham, maybe by the hill. But a nice flat track at Donny. I'd say it could be tough to stop. I think Kim Bailey's going to have a good weekend. He's got some nice chances this weekend. Right, 2 more to go. 240 Doncaster, 3 miles and a half. This will be, I'm going to say 1 to 2 by the time we get racing. West Balboa for the Scoutons. Have they just looked at the card and gone, we've got the right horse to pick up some Saturday prize money and more winners here, John?
Yeah, it's another ITV race, more points on the board, close to the 500 grand for Harry, which I'm sure will give Dan a few quid.
He's not riding it, but he's on board, because Harry will be a Cheltenham winner. But still, Saturday winners is what you want.
Hated fences, yeah. West Balboa, hated fences, back over hurdles. I think it's a move on job. It's one of your shorties of the weekend. And like we say, Dan Skelton is winning everything at the minute. He stuck around on Tuesday. Uttoxeter, right, for the last race, a 20-1 shot. Here's a picture of Dan afterwards, which he was getting into his into his food afterwards. His third serving of extra custard. And to be fair, I said to him, "What you did on Tuesday?" We got one in the last. Go well. He went, yeah, should go well. Quite like him. Apart from the ground, hacks up at 20-1.
Wow.
So, not a penny on, but no, I think
They're having an incredible season, aren't they?
Oh, it just incredible. And they've also got that horse that finished second in the Champion Book a couple of years ago that never turned out to be half decent. Joya Machan that kept putting up for ages.
Machan, yeah.
Collins, yeah, I've seen that go over there. So he must have a lot of room in the stable. But I think this is just a Frankie Foster type bet. And it's a move on job, isn't it? It's one of those. I don't know why we're looking for a bit of each way. Or
no, I don't think. Or no, I don't think there is. Or what?
Have you got something?
No. She's rated what, £12 clear of the field. I don't have any objection to a horse that hasn't taken to fences coming back hurdling. If they're good enough, they'll be absolutely fine. She raced in good enough hurdle races for long enough to switch back, in my opinion. And I'd say I don't know what the price will be by the time people are watching this, but she'll be short at the off. Right, the lucky last at Donny, 2 miles. The horse that I mentioned at the very start of the show. Are we going to keep? Well, I imagine we're going to keep this one simple, aren't we? Same form lines as Knickerbocker Glory that won at Ascot, going back to all of those handicap hurdles we've been talking about throughout all of last season. Same sort of form lines. There's a lot of good 2 mile handicap hurdlers in there that had a bit of juice in their mark. Outer belly, off 130. Does he win?
Yes, he does. And I think
he does,
11-4 is a not even a reasonable price. I think it's a very, very good price. Normally, you're looking at these going, what? It should be 3 times that price. I think 3-1, 11-4. I think it'll go off shorter. I think a lot of these will go off shorter on the day, especially if some of the other shorter ones have won. Harry Fry, Rex Dingle, the Knickerbocker Glory form, 6-1 into whatever it was, 13-8, or probably was shorter last weekend. I'm not a massive fan of just going for the favourite, but I genuinely think it's a very, very, very good favourite, and I had it priced up as around 2-1, and every horse still goes at the minute.
Same. I'm in the same camp. I thought he'd be shorter, and I kind of looked at the race as in, what can beat this? Let's go through it. Am I not giving the field enough respect? Am I just backing this blind because I wanted to back it, last week anyway? But you go through it, so I don't think there is something in there that can beat him. So Outer Belly is the best bet of the weekend. Any other news, Joel, as we look at the Cheltenham card, the Donny card? Your horse, how's he getting on?
He finished 46 lengths last, I believe. So the dream is still alive. Mr. Wilson, look out for him after the new year, maybe. I mean, he came back and was sore and was coughing. We bought it from Ireland, from Gavin Cromwell. A didn't go on the ground. B didn't like Utoxeter. C doesn't like jumping a hurdle. And D doesn't like Liam Harrison, or being owned, or running, or being put in the stable, or being saddled up. So
it's the reality of racehorse ownership.
I know, because it's like the people who've, I've been in, I've had a leg of loads of horses over the years, and some of them, they're brilliant, but it's the first time you get in there, and there's a couple of owners the first time out, and they're like, absolutely devastated, and you've just got to say, that's horses. You know what I mean? It's that horses. Cheap purchase. We'll see what happens, see what the vet says, and go again. So, let's see what happens.
Exactly.
Anyway, do you want to buy a leg? I've got a half price sale going on at the minute.
Right, best bet of the weekend.
Well, I think again, it's not massively on form after that run at Ascot last time. How do you pronounce it? Is it Joyeuse? Joyeuse for JP McManus, Nikki and Dakota Boinville. It's the mare's handicap hurdle, 335 at Cheltenham. Just off the fact that one of JP's representatives says 2 stone in hand, will win hard held and go off short. So all I'm doing is passing that on.
There we go. We could have the winner of the last 2 races then. Hopefully Outer Belly wins the last at Donny, and Joyeuse wins the last.
Yeah. And one more. Man United to absolutely smash Man City this weekend, 1-0.
1-0. There you are. There's your treble. There's your Trixie. Brilliant. Great racing all over this weekend, particularly Cheltenham. Hopefully we found, or at least pointed you in the direction of a couple of winners, and we'll be back together, Joel, in our Santa hats on Monday
In
with
the real
Matthew
life studio. It's like
in the
the
real
ones, yeah, I get to
live
see you
studio.
twice a year, once at Christmas. So we'll be talking what? All thing King George, all
Yeah.
the racing over Christmas, and then my least favourite bit, having a couple of pints later, phoning my missus going, I'll be home in a bit, I'll get the train home. And she says, why don't you stay over? Oh, I've already booked the travel lodge.
There we are. It's a good job your missus does not watch this show. Anyway, we'll see you Monday after all the action's taken place. We'll decipher it. We'll have one eye on the festival, one eye on the Christmas racing, and we'll have a good laugh. See you then.